video brings you. What's Cookin' with AHA?
But today we're going to show you how to make these quick, simple, beautiful fruit, and then we're going to add that same shine or sheen to it. So first I'm going to start with an orange. And then I'm going to add a tiny bit of this green. And what the green does, the green is going to give me a lot of depth to the fruit. Just the tiniest itsy-bitsy piece. Because if I add too much green, I'm going to add too much shadow into the orange. And of course, if I was working with a much larger piece, I'd have a larger piece of the green. Okay? And then what I'll do is I'll take, maybe too stingy. And then I'll take that green and then I'll just add it to my orange and I will just begin to blend that in. And what I'm looking for is some light and some shadow. So you can see where some of the green is incorporated into the orange. So I can massage that as much as I want to achieve less shadow or more shadow. So I'm going to massage it a little bit more. Then I'll stop. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it into the palms of my opposite hand. And my writing hand, I'm going to apply pressure and roll it into a round ball. And the more you roll the paste, the more the oil in the almonds come to the surface. Now, an orange has texture to it. So in order to give it texture, I'll use something like a cheese grater or any kind of grater that you have. And I'm going to apply that directly onto the grater. And I'm going to start to grate the orange directly on. And first I'm going to overly texturize it, so I mean lots and lots of texture. Now, my paste has maybe a little bit too much texture, so what I now want to do is I want to soften that so it has a more natural look to it. So I'll place it back into my hands and just lightly rotate it a few times. So it's got just the right kind of texture to it. Now the next thing I want to do in an orange has like a stem to it. And to create stems, we'll use something like cloves. And what I'm going to do first is at the very top of my orange, I'm going to take this ball tool and make a little dimple. Because when you look at an orange, there's sort of like a little dimple on the top. And then I will take my clove, something small and tiny. I place that right in the center. And there is my orange. Looks so real. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take like a grape-sized piece of paste. Maybe that's a little too big. And then I'm going to take a tiny piece of that green again. Maybe that's too much. Maybe that's better. And then I'm going to incorporate the green into my yellow. And I will massage that in. So my lemon has some shadows, not so yellow. Could be kind of green. So now, of course, I've got some shadow to that. Okay. Now I'm going to place that into my opposite palm, writing hand on top. Let's roll it into a round ball. And of course, a lemon also has texture. So I like to do my lemons a little differently, where once I've rolled it into a ball, I'm going to start with the texturing. And then after I texture it, then I'm going to make the shape. I find if I do it that way, my lemon looks more natural. If I shape it and then roll it on, it looks unnatural. So let's texturize it. And now let's shape this. Now to shape my lemon, I'm going to pick it up with one hand, and near the top of the lemon, I'm going to take my thumb and my index finger, and I'm going to pinch near the top, turning the bottom to a dull point, not a sharp point. I'm going to turn it around and do the bottom the same way. I'm going to pinch the top, turning the bottom to another dull point. Okay, so it's sort of dull. Okay. So I'm starting to get the shape of my lemon. Now, the next time you look at your lemon, on one end of your lemon there's like a cross, literally a cross. And at the center of that cross is where you have your stem to that lemon. So I'll take one end with my blade, and I'll just sort of press it in the middle, and then I'll turn it a quarter turn and I'll press it again. And right at the center of that is where my stem will go. So now I'll take another clove, something very, very small, and the center point will have my clove, and then I'll go back and I'll reshape it. So now let's reshape it, because playing with it, we lose the shape of it. So to reshape it, I'm going to place it on my work surface, and then I'm going to take thumb and index finger at both ends. And watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to push it to the center. Turn it around, push. Slightly pinch and push. So it's got like a little stubble to it. And there is my lemon.